you could choose to have a magical superpower, any power you could dream of, what would you pick? Being a mother of boys who love animes and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I got asked this question quite a few times. And my answer has surely been to fly. I wish I could fly. But how daring is that if we can fly in airplanes or wearing a wingsuit? Soon enough, we'll have electric flying vehicles to take us around town. Even outer space is not a barrier any longer for some. No, my superpower is not to fly anymore. It's to heal. Heal the self, heal organizations, heal the planet. That's the superpower I'd like to have. You see, healing for me has to do with restoring life, well-being, with navigating the complexity of life, knowing that everything will be all right. Speaking of complexity, some say we're living a revolution, the fourth industrial revolution, with technology advancing faster than ever, blurring the lines between the physical, the digital, the biological spheres. Yes, technology is certainly transforming the way we live, work, relate to each other. So many scientific breakthroughs. And yet, at the same time, still facing so many complex challenges. Take the COVID pandemic, for instance, which has taken so many lives and stopped the world. Who would have thought it possible? Empty streets in New York City, Paris, São Paulo, everywhere. A global pandemic forces us to stretch our abilities, not only to adapt to change, but to create something better. Yes, we can. According to the late Chilean biologist and systems thinker Humberto Maturana, we cannot separate the way we live from the dynamic realization of living. The world we live in is not independent from us. We literally bring it forth ourselves. This is super powerful. Having worked for governments and very innovative companies such as Intel and General Electric, I learned that innovation is important for countries, companies, people. Innovation can inspire new beginnings. And you don't need all the answers to take action because innovation is a relational dynamic. The more you listen, ask better questions, investigate across disciplines, you expand your vision. And you can challenge narratives and worldviews that don't serve you any longer. So you can create the new. And this is what I did at age 50. I dared to shift from executive to entrepreneur, and I allowed myself a new beginning creating the BRIA Institute as a benefit corporation. The word BRIA means the world of creation in Kabbalah, and I hope it will be a vessel to share and heal. To be very honest with you, at first, all I knew was that I would focus on innovation connected to purpose, like promoting brain health, which even before the pandemic was a huge issue. I also learned as an executive to look for best practices. So I turned to MIT to learn how to create a startup, and to the Santa Fe Institute to learn about complexity. I was like a sponge, learning from so many sources and wonderful masters. I learned that we, our companies, our cities, are complex systems, that we are facing a prosperity paradox. Actually, all the issues we're facing are somehow interconnected and interdependent. Our intentions matter, and we can design with circularity to regenerate instead of degenerate. As we innovate, there's always something that's being conserved. And we're all in this together. So, if you learn to see systems, to see patterns, to see the world as this interconnected network of relationships, it will be easier to integrate the different dimensions of life. So the cognitive, the biological, the social, the ecological. Again, according to Maturana, we are living systems in constant transformation. We are beings of language who change with the flow of our interactions. We're going through a moment, a period in time of great disruption that can also be of great opportunity to let the other appear. He used to say, we live in the relational space we generate with each other. We can change our sensoriality by changing our desire and purpose, thus changing the course of our drift. So, what is it going to be? Are we going to ignore the superpowers we already have as leaders of our own lives, as inherently creative beings? Let's exercise self-leadership, tap into our genius and true self, applying our superpowers to sustain life. Equally important is to be aware of what it is that we're conserving. So how about if we choose to conserve respect, trust, collaboration, and apply systems thinking to regenerate the way we live as part of this gorgeous planet? I may not yet have the superpower of healing as I wish I had. And I still have a lot to learn from biology, nature, applying systems thinking to business, igniting leaders to heal their organizations through Bria. And I have an invitation for you. How about if we all allow ourselves at the dawn of new cycles to reflect upon what really matters, letting the other appear, to be aware and clear about what we want to conserve as we change with the flow of our interactions, and embrace our journeys as leaders right here, wherever we are. Superpowers may sound and seem out of this world, but why not focus on the powers we already have? So let's get to work. Thank you very much.